Yep. Got a couple of games to go through again today. Again, Rocket League School subreddit. So I did a video, I can't remember when it was, but that was for Brutalfierywrath, and that was a 3v3, couple of 3v3 games. So they've posted a couple of 2v2 games and sent me a message and just said, if you're still doing replay reviews, do you mind having a look? So I'm happy to do that. I've read through all these comments down here. This guy or girl has put a load of stuff here. This is all great stuff. I agree with everything they've said here. This is all great. You've mentioned about the replay I did before. The one thing I want to just mention is that replay was 3v3. So when I talked about roles and positioning being first, second or third, that was pretty much strictly for 3v3. 2v2 is a bit different. It's more dynamic, more sort of fluid, the gameplay. So you don't really have a strict set thing to do in each role. So just because you're in first, you might not want to do something. You can't really set yourself a strict. I see you've put this list of sort of things you want to do in certain situations, which is great to have, but 2v2, you have to be prepared to improvise. You have to be ready to, just because you're in a certain position, just because you're second, you might want a challenge, right? You don't have to wait. The 2v2 is a bit different. It's almost like a combination of 1v1 and 3v3. Like 1v1, you're always first and you're always last, and you basically have to always be attacking and defending at the same time. And 3s, you rotate out of the positions more, which is why you have the roles of first, second, third. And 2v2 is kind of some sort of combination of both, where you're kind of doing everything, but you're also got a teammate. So you have to, like I say, you have to adapt and be a bit more flexible. So yeah, that said, I'll get into these games. Let me load the pen up. I did not want Epic Games. I wanted Epic Pen. There we go. Come on. There it is. The old pen of truth. Right. So, let's get into it. So I won't really talk too much about roles and those sorts of things. I'll just go give you the standard sort of general analysis. Because there's a few things I think you do want to change possibly. This is all fine. Yeah, so this is the first thing. So you're ahead of the ball here, and there's basically three things you can do when you're ahead of the ball. One, you kind of wait for your teammate to pass the ball to you. Doesn't work in this defensive situation, but again, I want to keep it general. So you either wait for your teammate to pass the ball. The second option is you cause some sort of disrupting play. You steal some boost, you go for a bump or demo or something, and then the third option is just rotate back. Usually you kind of want to do them in that priority order. If you could wait for a pass for your teammate, that's the highest priority. That's the thing you want to try and go for first. The second thing is probably the bump demo. Though it's not a strict list of things. I'm making this up right now as I'm talking, by the way. It's not like a set in stone. You must do these in this order. I'm just, it depends on the situation, obviously. And the last option is just rotate, get out of there, right? So with that, that's the, having that in mind, in this situation, if this was me, I'd just be trying to demo this guy. You get the pen? This guy right here. Really want to just go after him. There's no reason not to, because, you can't really do anything else. You basically, right now, you've got two options, right? You either just rotate and get the boost, or you demo this guy and then just rotate and get the boost after. So it's just a free demo. You just get this guy, blow him up, and you never know. This player may have done the pass anyway, and your teammate could have had a free 1v1. Could have happened. Not saying it would have, but there you go. 50's okay. Then yeah, this is where I can't remember if I said already, but I have watched this once already earlier. And yeah, teammates missed. Nothing you can really do there. This is okay. That's fine. I'll just throw in that. So that's fine because that guy might have hit the ball. Here, fake challenge is okay. You could also do a drive challenge, which I think was mentioned in that one of those comments. You basically just stay on the floor and you just drive. You don't even have to boost necessarily, but you just drive straight through where the ball is. And when you do that, it doesn't really matter if they hit the ball over you, because the ball goes to your teammate most of the time. And in a situation like this, it just goes to your teammate. But the main thing is that you pretty much always get the bump on him. You'll always get that bump if you just drive in. Imagine you just drive here. They do this flip. You just bump them right now. They get bumped off. Then your teammate can come in. Free ball. So it's just another option. Something else you might be able to add in. Wouldn't worry about stealing that boost. Doesn't matter. You needed it as well. Okay. I'll just quickly go back before we finish this playoff. The 50 was quite good, but so here, yeah, I would, like I sort of mentioned a second ago, when you were ahead of the ball, so your teammate's ahead of the ball, that means that they could receive a pass, right? So in the same, like I said before, we could either, if we're in front of the ball, we can either wait for a pass or cause a disrupting play, like go for a bump. So that's the two things your teammate might do now, because they're in front of the ball. They might either go for a bump or they might wait for a pass. And if I just let it play, actually, you can see that they waited for the pass because they slowed down. Then they probably went for a bump or something over here. I can't see if they did, but that's the things they might do. So with that in mind, here is it's just a great opportunity to just roll the ball along the floor and give it to your teammate. And the reason it's good is just that this player over here has a chance to come in and get back into the play and disrupt it if you take too long, right? This happens a lot where if you take too long, this guy will come from the back and take you out. So they miss here, but you can see now, imagine teammate had the ball in this position. They've still got a 1v1, whereas right now, because you've slowed it down, took control, which is, you know, it's fine in some situations, it's just here, you've now got to get past both of them. You know, if I asked you what's better, you trying to do a 1 versus 2 dribble from here, or your teammate with the ball here doing a 1v1, you're going to pick teammate with the 1v1 every time. So yeah, teammates in front, just whack it up towards them, let them try and do something. Because not only is it harder for you to get past 2 players, your teammate just gets stuck ahead of the play and can't do anything. Yes, nice, getting it around them. Unfortunate. I think you just rushed it a little bit. Just went a bit too quick. Dodgy wave dash, but it's fine. The only thing I'll add here is... let me go back slightly more so we can see the pitch. Help me explain it. Okay, so here, when you've got to rotate back, you really want to grab boost. You really want to grab some boost. So this pad, you can't quite see it very well, but these ones are all down the middle of the pitch, and it's just a complete straight line down the middle. So if you want to keep ball cam on, you just line up with these two and just keep driving, and you'll end up picking up all the boost down the middle. You also have, if I go forward slightly, you also have these boosts here, the ones that go around in a slight curve. It's a bit hard to just stay on track on those, especially if you're not looking where you're going, if you've got ball cam on. But in this situation, you really want to try and grab at least a couple of pads. It just makes it easier. You know, if they passed it here and tried to take some big shot, it's easier to make a save if you've got 20 boost than you've got 0. You know, it sounds obvious. So yeah, grabbing boost pads is just great. 50's great. Okay. We'll talk about this. So, just first thing, because I know you're trying to do a zap dash, because I think you do a couple later on. That's fine. If you want to learn what I would say is more advanced mechanics earlier on, it's fine. You'll get a lot of comments from people saying this is pointless. You don't need to learn this yet. I'm kind of 50-50 on it. If you learn how to do flip resets in gold, then you know it's just going to boost your mechanics up in the long run, which is fine. So I'm not going to discourage anyone from trying to learn something, but the only thing I would say is that I don't think I've ever seen anyone, even in Grand Champ 2, ever even do a zap dash. The only time people I ever see do it are pros or like freestylers. But anyway, if you want to learn it, it's fine. I'm not going to discourage you. The only thing I would say is in this situation, once again, so our teammate, full boost, they have the ball, there's no pressure, there's no opponents anywhere, and we have 0 boost. So if our teammate makes a play and starts going up here, we need boost to help support our teammate. So your main priority here is just grab some boost, right? So the only thing I will say is that this flip, fine, you've got 12. The zap dash here it just doesn't really do anything. It's just going to boost you into the goal, right? It's just fine. Your team has got the ball. You can slow down a little bit. 1, 2, 2, 3, or maybe even this one if you turn up this way. You know, you could have got 36 boost in this situation, but instead you sort of end up jumping into the goal. And you could have gone for this ball. You could have been there to catch this ball after you've seen your teammate make a mistake. But you can't really go now because you're too far away on low boost. You can see how, if I go back a bit, you can see how awkward you are, right? If you just look at your car, ready? You go in the goal, reverse, forwards, reverse, forwards, reverse, forwards, reverse. Any more? Forwards, turn around. You know, you basically spent like however long that was just sitting in the goal back and forwards because you don't really know what to do because you got yourself stuck. And I hate to say it, but it was all because of this attempted zap dash thing. If all you really had to do was just, you know, slow it down a bit, grab some pads, help your teammate. They might not have messed, you know, they're not going to mess up every situation, but if you did get them, like I say, you could have even just come round and just boom the ball away, done anything, right? And I think just one final thing on this part here. You have time, like you don't need to rush this ball. You could just do a flip here instead of the boost, because you're low boost, you want to save it. You could have got to this, like, they're not even challenging, right? So you could have still had 24 boost here, and that would have made your dribble easier. Yeah, you probably wouldn't have dropped the ball, you might have been able to stay under it, got a flick. It's a good 50 though. Not the best touch, but it's fine. I like that demo idea. Okay, we're a bit awkward there. This is fine. There's two. You've got two options here. One, you don't even need to hit this ball. If I go back slightly, right? The ball's gonna just bounce and land up on your wall somewhere anyway. So you could, when you're in the certain situation that you know that their team isn't going to get to that ball, you can just rush for the boost, then just turn around and get the ball. So like here, you can just back off, go get the boost, turn around, get the ball. That's fine. Or here, you've got to stay on the ball because you've touched it too far. You're too far away to go get the boost and back now. Because you've slowed the ball down, the opponents can get to it quicker. There is one thing you can do if you get a weird touch like this. You can just hit the ball up the wall, right? You don't want to hit the bottom of the ball because it might chip it into the wall and bounce it off, but you can jump and hit the middle of the ball and it will just roll it up the wall, and it just makes it a bit awkward for them to do anything with it. Because instead you're kind of in between the ball and the boost. I'm guessing you wanted to touch the ball and get the boost at the same time, which is, it's a good idea to do, but sometimes you have to just, like I mentioned earlier, improvise a little bit because it's gone wrong. So you want to touch it and then but you can't now, right? You can't get back to it and this, so you've got to improvise. You've got to just stay on the ball. The ball's the priority. You can just stay on the ball. Like I say, even if you just whack it somewhere and just go get the boost. Speed flip looks pretty good. I think you might want to flip a little bit earlier just so you land a little bit further away from the ball, just so you can jump into the ball a bit more. So we don't, yeah. I think this is the goal as well, if I remember. Yeah. So we don't really even need to jump for this ball. It's the exact similar situation. Well, I say exact similar. I don't know what that means, but there you go. I was going to say exact same and similar. Similar situation. They're not getting this ball, so you can just wait for it to come down. Because I mean, if you think about it, what are you gonna do with this ball? Even if you aerial and hit this, what does it do? It doesn't really do anything unless you can catch it, control it near the wall, and then make a play off the wall and continue it on. You've got time. They're not coming after you. So if I just pause it here, you could have just drove back along the floor, round here, put your car here somewhere, and you'd still have, I think it was 93 boost. You could have just caught the ball down here. So it's just a bit of you don't have to always hit the ball just because it's headed towards your corner. You can wait for it to get back here if you come round and wide. Similar to that, like I say, the last situation. Because now you're just a bit awkward and you've got 0 boost now. So teammate wants to forfeit, it's fine. So the thing I'm going to say for this remainder of this game is, so teammate wants to forfeit, right? Which is, fine. Can't control what they want to do. But the only thing I want to point out is that you're 3-0 down and you've got 1 minute 45 left, and your teammate kind of wants to give up. So in these sort of situations, you can kind of just say to yourself that you're gonna lose anyway. You're gonna lose, right? It's a losing situation, so you may as well just go crazy. Just start ball chasing. You may as well just start rushing plays, just going all in, because you've basically got nothing to lose, right? So if I pause it in a couple of seconds, right now, you've got 1 minute 30 left. You've basically got 30 seconds to score 30 seconds per goal for 3 goals, right? Now it's not a huge amount of time, but if you think of it like that, you'll realise the urgency, because you've already lost 5 seconds. It's like here, yeah. So here, I'd probably just rush it, right? You've done this chip, I'd just start rushing this. Just try and just go for it. Especially, like I say, this only really applies if you're in this sort of score when you're losing anyway. Like I say, you want to start going crazy. Just gonna try. So I'm gonna pause it again. I'm gonna keep doing this just to really highlight the situation. So now you've got 20 seconds per goal, right? So we can see how urgent your gameplay is, right? So that's fine. We're in their corner. So even here, just turn and go for it. You've now got what, 16, just under 17 seconds per goal, right? 51 it would be 17. Just go. Just turn and go. You've got nothing to lose because you're going to lose anyway. You've got 17 seconds to get a goal. Are you going to do that if you turn around and slowly drive back? You're not. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen, right? You've got 15 seconds per goal now. Turn, let go. You know. You did go. It's fine, but more urgency is what we need. 30 seconds. 10 seconds per goal, right? Slowly driving back. Sort of waiting for them to come to us a bit. Sitting in the corner. Like it doesn't. You got like I say. You now got 6 seconds per goal. You got absolutely nothing to lose now. And like I say, I'm being extreme. I'm going to keep pointing out. There's just no reason to not just go absolutely crazy and just go all in. Even if you get scored on, fine, whatever. You forfeit. Your teammate wanted to forfeit anyway. Game's done. You could, you know, whatever. But you gotta sort of, like I say, be more urgent and really just full send it. You got nothing to lose. I think we go straight into the next game. Yep. So just because it's popped into my head, and it's gone now. There was something I was about to say. It'll come back to me. Let's carry on. So the boost pad's good. It's fine. Nice, I like that. Yeah, the pass was a good idea. I think teammate should have expected it a bit more, I think. But we can't control them, so... Okay. I think this happened in the last video as well. This is your ball, right? There's no doubt about it. You've touched it, you're still there. This is your ball, but I think you've kind of almost scared yourself off by seeing the teammate. And yes, this is the thing I was going to say. I've remembered. It's about, I think, the way you play, you're kind of playing in a way that you're afraid to make mistakes. So you end up not really fully committing into something. You're kind of waiting until you think it's right to go, and then you go with the intent, like I say, you're sort of afraid to make a mistake or do something wrong. But the problem with that is that you end up not really taking any risks, and you don't really do anything super impactful in the game. You don't really create loads of chances or put loads of shots on target or create loads of pressure. You kind of wait around a bit to, like I say, in case you make a mistake, you just don't want to do it. So like here, this kind of highlights it, where you're almost afraid to double commit because you think your teammate might be coming in, which is fine. You've like observed that your teammate is there, but I think I mentioned it in the other video as well, where you have to be a bit assertive and try to, like, it's your ball, right? So if your teammate comes in, it's their mistake, you know? It wouldn't even be your mistake anyway. It's their mistake if they come in and just whack this off the top of your car. And, you know, it's Rocket League. It's going to happen, so it doesn't really matter anyway. But this is the issue. If you end up backing off to let your teammate go, they know it's your ball. They were just there just in case, you know? So this sort of situation happens where you end up sort of faking your teammate as well as faking yourself. So yeah, it's a bit better than what we saw in the last game, where we made the catch and got the boost, so that's fine. But it's like I said, with that big aerial one, like, you didn't jump up and aerial this one because you knew you could just wait for it to land. And this is what I'm talking about before. It's not the best touch off the wall because it goes straight to them, but it's worked out, it's fine. But that was very laggy. Oh yeah, and then you score, I think you score this as well. Fine. Good stuff. Oh yeah. Nothing you can do that. This has turned into a crazy game. Okay, nice. Okay, so here, fine. These weird kickoffs work sometimes. The dunk is great. I think flicking your camera to look for your teammate is fine. But at this point, you pretty much just want to turn around and just wait around here somewhere. You want to just come down the wall and just turn up and just wait around here. Be ready to help your teammate, right? So this situation, this guy's gone for the kickoff. He's going to be really low boost. I think this player probably grabbed the mid, so they might have 100 when they get back. But either way, you're here, your teammate's here. It's a 2v1 situation. So you want to keep the pressure. You want to keep the advantage. And I would just stay, as close as you think you can be, just to stay relevant and keep the pressure up. You don't really need to concern yourself with this guy. He's just going to rotate all the way back and try and get some boost. Which he does that. He's gone all the way back to the corner. Unfortunate on the touch. Could have been a shot, but it's fine. It's fine, nice. 50. Teammate needs, yeah, I think teammate needs to push out a bit here. When you did that flip, that's kind of the signal to your teammate to start pushing out, that they should know you're now behind them. But they kind of just wait very statically in there. Yeah. If they pushed out, you could have taken that spot. Yeah, and here, I think you get that ball anyway. I don't know. Venom's just gone for the kickoff, so they're going to be 0 boost. Pretty much 0, right? They're trying to dribble the ball from the halfway line with 0 boost. You can don't be afraid to just get a bit closer. You know, they're going to do a 0 boost flick is the worst thing that they could do. So you can just push up a bit, try and put some pressure, scare them off a bit. I mean, even when you sat back, look, oh, messed up, drop the ball. So if you were a bit closer, you could pounce on that now. You could hit that round them, go up the wall, whatever you want to do. There's no need to be afraid of him because he's got 0. Yeah, I think you just missed because you rushed it a little bit. Yeah. If you slam the brakes, you might be able to get that. But that's fine. It's not the end of the world. There's the old zap dash. It's a good save, but the only thing I'd say, the earlier you can do this, the better, is if you're making some sort of save, no matter where you're making the save, if you hit it into this sort of corner, it's going to be safe. If this is some sort of 3D box of your corner, I don't know why I'm even drawing this, but here you go, some sort of 3D box of the corner. If you hit it, if you hit it to your corner, I've gone crazy with the pen. If you hit it to your corner, then it's just going to be safe, right? You can see here, you hit it to the middle, it's gone out this way. They get a free shot. They just single jumped into the ball. If they jumped a bit sooner or higher and flipped into it, your teammate's going to have a real tough time trying to save that. So anytime you can clear the ball, clear it off to the corners, and it's just safer. That's one of the little rules you should add to... Oh, and here's another rule. So that's one of the little rules you might want to add to your list. Try and clear the ball to the corners. And this is another one I've just seen. I'm guessing you didn't mean to do this jump and it was meant to be a flip because you kind of turned as you did it. But I'll mention this anyway because you might not have meant to take the boost. But if you're on the way up the pitch, I would try not to take the mid boosts. So if you're sort of on the attack, going up the pitch, just, don't go for the mid boosts, because after your teammate has made their play in the corner, made their play, they're going to rotate out, and they're going to want boost, right? And if that mid boost is there, they can take the mid boost here, they can come back, take the mid, and then they're at the halfway line. And then they can, they might want to rotate back, they might want to turn and come into the play more, or stay around the halfway line. They can stay in the play, right? If you take the mid, they then have to go all the way to the back corner to get the boost, which puts them really far away, takes them out the play. Then when you go in to do, let's say you jump into the corner and make some sort of play, your teammate's in the back corner, they can't do anything. And it's just a bit frustrating because it's like, my teammate's gone all the way back for boost. That's not good. And it's because you took the boost. And in this situation, you actually already took that back corner boost and the mid. So now your teammate's going to be stuck on 0 boost for absolutely ages, I reckon. So there's 0 boost now from, there's 0 boost already now. But yeah, you took the boost on 33. They would have had the boost now on 31. So we'll see when they get boosted. It's okay, bit of a miss hit. And there you go. They've now got the boost about 12 seconds later. So it took them 12 seconds to get to 100 boost, when if we didn't take the mid, they'd have had the boost already. It's okay. It's fine. This is fine. Going for these bumps is fine. At this point, I would turn away. I would never fully commit all in unless you know that it's going to pretty much guaranteed lead to a shot or goal. At this point, you've done enough, right? As soon as you've sort of done enough to trip them up, get out of there. Because the longer you spend in the goal, especially when you're 0 boost, the longer it's going to take you to rotate. But this is fine, It's not the end of the world, but it's just one of those little things I would just add in. Interception's fine. So that's fine, because you did get the demo, so it's fine going all in there. Unlucky. So I think it's almost similar to that other area we had in the corner that we didn't quite get. There are training packs for that sort of shot where you can defend. They're called, I think it's called backboard, or no, backwards saves, or it might be called like shadow defense saves, something like that. I've done packs like that before. You should be able to find packs like that, and they'll help you with those sort of saves. really much to say about this one, to be honest. So, it's just a goal, isn't it? Yeah, you just get a bit beat on that, but your teammate's in a weird spot. Yeah, not much to say, really. Okay, I would have... you've got the opportunity to take this boost because you're not really doing much here. So this is another one of these where this guy's going to be fairly low boost anyway. Their other player's going to be low boost because it's been the kickoff, right? At max, he's probably going to have 30-40 boost. And he hasn't gone for this boost, right? So he's not going to be able to do too much with this ball, even if you rush up, take the boost and gower there. There's nothing really, and you were going to go anyway, but you just took a bit too long to decide what you were going to do. So again, I'm going to do the same thing I did last time. We need to score 3 goals in a minute. So we've got 20 seconds per goal. And we'll see how urgent you are. So I would have... The pass to teammate was on here. I know it didn't work out earlier. I think it was the same game. Right at the start. But they are there, and I would just use them. Like I say, you need to be more urgent with what you're going to do. So the quickest route to the goal is the one you just want to take now. I mean, this is okay if you're confident going for these sort of things. But that's 15 seconds gone on one sort of aerial attempt. Yeah, and I'd just say the same sort of thing here. Just rush it. Like I say, you got 15 seconds to get a goal. If they score, then they score. If you miss, then it doesn't matter. You know, the game's basically over at this point. You've now got 10 seconds per goal. So I'd just cheat up. Just, you know, cheat up. Just go, just all in. You need to, like I said earlier, be really urgent with whatever you're going to do. It doesn't matter if you get scored on. What's the difference between 5-1 and 6-1? Nothing. Like this, you know? If I gave you a sort of what happens next, right? So if I pause it here, 6 seconds per goal remaining, right? If I paused this and said, out of context, and this was a different game, and said, orange team takes this game to overtime. If I said that was what happened, and I said what happens next, given that, what happens in this situation, you know, what are the sort of things you'd come up with? You know, you'd probably want to boost full speed, hit the ball off the wall, jump round this player, you know, dribble the ball, take some sort of flick, trying to, you know, anything you could do. Just, like I say, you've got to just be super urgent. There's no reason to not go for this ever, because you have to score. If you want to win, you have to score. As soon as you turn around, game over. You're just giving up the game, basically. If I said, if I made it an equivalent situation, right? So you've got to score 1 goal per 6 seconds. If you were 1-0 down right now with 6 seconds left, would you have still backed off, or would you have gone for the ball? Is the question, right? It's the exact equivalent situation. You have 6 seconds to score, and you're not going to do that if you back off. If I show you now, that's your 6 seconds gone, right? And it goes quick. I think you could have gone a bit earlier as well. Just jump and go. Especially, you know, the game's over, so there's no reason not to. But yeah, I think you play quite smart, but I think you have to almost, like I mentioned right at the start, you have to be willing to improvise, and you have to be okay with playing what might be a bit dumb, just because why not, right? You know, you've got to be able to, you've got to sort of take some risks in Rocket League. You've got to, you've just got to go sometimes and just see what happens. Especially in these sorts of games when there isn't much time left. There's always less time than you think, and there's no reason not to just go all in, right? And like I've said multiple times, you're gonna lose anyway, so just why not? I mean, that's the way I see it. Um, and I think overall, I guess, as I mentioned, just in between the games, if I you kind of play like you don't really want to, you're sort of afraid of making a mistake. Um, and I used to play the same way, but I got a few replays done um, from a coach, and they noticed it, and they basically said, you know, you're not really doing anything wrong, but you're not really doing anything. And it changed the way I played, to be honest. It changed it completely because, like I say, I wasn't really making any sort of impact on the game. You just kind of sit around the middle, you wait for stuff to happen, and then you pounce. But then you're not really doing anything. You're kind of just chilling. There needs to be more urgency. You've got to take control of the game, make the game yours, and really try to, especially like when you're losing, just go. You've just got to take charge and go for it. Um, but yeah, definitely read these comments through. Um, I'm assuming you've already read them, but they are definitely worthwhile reading. They're great. Everything they've said is good. Like they mentioned down here about drive challenges and stuff. Like, um, yeah, it's all spot on stuff. But yeah, hopefully that helps. And as always, if anyone else or yourself, if you want more replays done, just yeah, message me on Reddit. That's my Reddit there, or leave a comment on the video. Peace.